you're directing a film.
I am.
What is your process of trying to capture all the important issues through character?
Honestly, it's a documentary, and through documentary, we're working with people behind the screen and that are going to be in front of the screen that bring a lot of like character, not just from within themselves, but in this work we forget to stay aligned. We all get so distracted by what's going on. We're always like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And there's so many things happening, so many, like, honestly, like, really hard things that a lot of Native people, Indigenous people that are facing across the world right now, especially under this administration. And so finding ways to uplift these people, but not just make it all doomsday. Like, we can't lose hope. And there is a lot of people doing good work. And, Indigenous people have been doing this work since before contact, right? Like, we have been stewards of the land. It is a known statistic, which I'm so happy a lot more people are talking about, but it's, and I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, 80% of the world's biodiversity is protected by Indigenous people, and we only take up 5% of the world's population. And so that statistic alone tells you who are at the front lines. And so to uplift, people that are doing the work on the front lines, to make sure that their stories and their experiences are being told, but also respected and represented in a beautiful way, it's important, because we can't just see everything that's happening and then lose hope and feel defeated, right? And so, the film is called Beautiful Resistance, and it's to highlight the beauty in this work. And it's, there is moments of laughter, of joy, of celebration, like why we're here tonight, right? To celebrate, incredible people doing the work. And so, yeah, I feel like through film, it's important to make people feel comfortable, make people feel heard, hold space for them. And, it's a learning process. Telling stories is a learning process for everybody, and it's a community effort. So, yeah.
And what do you think is the biggest issue facing Indigenous youth today?
The biggest issue facing Indigenous youth today, I would say, is hopelessness. The statistics of Indigenous youth are really sad. We have the highest rates of suicide because there's not a lot of resources to protect Indigenous youth. We're all seeing the loss over and over again, the loss of our land, our culture, our languages, our histories. The right histories are not being told. It's so many things, and all of that trickles down, and it is ongoing generational trauma that is passed down over and over again. And so to break a cycle, to make youth feel hopeful, to make them feel seen, to make them feel important, it's detrimental to telling stories of climate, justice, because Indigenous youth are the most impacted. And so, it's important to make sure that we're doing the work to not only incorporate them, include them, but to empower them and remind them that their stories and their experiences are just as important as the next person.